Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. All right, so today we have Caroline McFarland-Watts on. She is a miniaturist and sculptor. She does TallTaleProductions. I'm going to see if she's in right now. I think I saw her come in. There she is. You can see like she does like these little. They do like this thing where it looks like she's cooking, and her figures are just amazing. There she is.
Hey.
Hi, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. How's the sound? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. I think everybody else can hear you. You guys, you're okay on my end. So first of all, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I've been following you for a very long time. So yeah, since I started, I did like little custom like Funkos every now and then. I still kind of do them, but like I like the whole sculpting thing, and you're one of the first people that I've ever really followed. So it is just such a good opportunity. Yes, nice. Yeah. It's yeah, and then I saw you one day. I was flipping through channels, and I saw you on the Cake Masters, and I was like, I follow her.
What, you saw that on YouTube?
No, I saw it on TV.
Oh, right.
I was flipping through channels, and I was like, I know who she is. I was like, that is so cool. How was that? Was that fun to?
Oh, that was so much fun. Yeah, I did that summer 2016, so it feels like ages ago, but every now and again I'll be somewhere and someone will recognize me from it.
Yeah, the deadline that they give you, was that a real deadline? It was like a few days, wasn't it?
It was worse. So the actual deadline is worse than how they put it in the film. So I think on camera we were like, oh, you've got 5 days to do all this. In reality, I had 2.5 days.
What?
Because I had to come in and film it, and we had to film me coming in, delivering the work. I think like a day and a half after they set the assignment or something.
Oh my gosh, that is so crazy.
It was really fun.
That's so awesome. Okay, so I just had a few questions. Are those things right there? Those are the little toes that you have, right? I remember seeing little ones. And oh my gosh, she looks so good.
Are you looking at Hortense?
Huh? I'm looking at the how do you say her name?
Oh, Hortense.
Hortense. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know if I could I know that I'm not really good with pronunciation of those kind of different names, so I'm like I don't even try.
Well, so she's supposed to be French, and I call her Hortense, which is the English butchering of the French accent, but it would be Hortense, but I don't say it like that.
All right, well, so let's start from the beginning. I know that I read a little bit about your background on you were just when did you start doing sculpting, and what started that?
When I started sculpting, properly doing it in 2011.
Okay.
But I only started doing the figurines in 2015.
Oh wow. Oh really? So what got you wanting to do? What about sculpting that you that made you want to just start it? Were you always into art? Were you drawing?
I was interested in art, but the funny thing is I'm English, and I moved to LA to be a writer, and I was writing these scripts and stories, and I was pitching stuff and trying to get some buzz with it. And then I decided to create visuals to go alongside my writing to try and sell it. And now people kind of see me as an artist or a sculptor, which I guess I've become, but it was originally more to try to sell my ideas, my written ideas.
Okay. So you just started sculpting in 2010. Did you then?
Yeah, kind of end of 2010, 2011 really, and I started doing figurines in 2015.
Did you do classes, or is it mostly self-taught? Because I've seen a lot of the videos that you have, what is that called when you behind the scenes type thing while you're doing it, and the way you just have this delicate putting the little I try doing sculpting. I think I have a heavy hand or something, because once I do one thing, the other thing pushes in, and you just got this
anyone could do it. It's just practice. You could do it with some practice. It's not hard.
It's so how long did it take you to really get to where you wanted to be with your sculpting? Because from when you started to
any day now.
So when you do these, I know you have a line, it's the good witches, bad witches, right? Is that the first line that you've really done? I know you do like little everything that you've done has all been towards those sculptures, like
yeah, a lot of it is. A lot of it's towards that main project.
You had before, I know I read something about how you worked on the set of
Harry Potter?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, so that was ages ago. I graduated with a film degree in London, but I was focusing more on writing, as I said, trying to do screenwriting. And then I was working for Miramax Films, and then my boss went and sent me over to Harry Potter for a bit, to the set in Leavesden Studios, which is just north of London. And I went and helped build Hogsmeade Village. But that wasn't actually sculpting. That was cutting up heavy cardstock and erecting scale models.
Okay, so I saw that you had a model for the witches and like for the background, kind of like a house looking thing. Is that what you did to start it? Because it was like, is that
Can
it?
you see it now?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that looks so cool. You guys, I do see your questions. I will get to them soon, okay? Just so you guys know, I'm looking through them to make sure that I have them up there because we do get some questions a lot. That looks so awesome. Is that you said that you have a book that's going to be surrounded around. This is one of the characters in the book.
Yeah, so it's actually a series of books under the Good Witches, Bad Witches umbrella title, and it's a series of books, and each book is about a different character.
Oh, okay, awesome. And that's still in the making, right?
They are.
Okay. Do you have like a...
This year, I think we'll get the first one out.
Yeah, I saw 2019. I'm like, that is so soon. I was like, I'm already going to start saving up my money because I want all the books, like for sure.
Thanks.
Now, tell us a little bit about her. How you said again, Hortense?
Oh yeah, Hortense. Can you see her in film? In camera?
Yeah, I can see her. It's not super clear, but we can see her.
Okay. or go to my website. But oh no, don't worry about it.
Because the detail does not do it. You guys have to check out her site, her account. You can get a lot of detail on it. It shows some of the actual when she was painting it, and there's I think that's on your Instagram as well as their site as well. Yeah. And
there's a video on my YouTube as well. It shows me making her.
I think I see. Yeah, I watched that one too. Now these are all hand painted and hand sculpted, like every single one.
Well, actually, so my stuff is all hand sculpted, but when I made this character here, I actually mass manufactured her in China. So I hand sculpted her once, and then molds were taken. She was made again in China with poured resin and then hand painted. So each one has been hand painted from cast from my original sculpt.
Okay.
That's why I can keep them affordable.
Now, how much is she?
She is $225.
$225. It's the work on her is just incredible. What made you?
It's a great company that I use. The factory I used does the same. They do figurines for Disney and Sideshow and Warner Brothers. So they do a really good job.
Okay, awesome. Wendy, can you tell us a little bit of this particular witch's backstory? I mean, just a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So she's French. So she's snooty and pompous. I'm joking. I really do like French people. But her pet is this poodle, and she works as a perfumer at Malador. So means bad smell, bad odor. And she's her story is really funny. You'll see it in the book. All the stories are kind of funny. She's a bad witch, and it's kind of funny because she makes these fragrances, and then it's just I'm not very good at explaining it. Actually, just I'll release more about the story as I progress through the book.
No problem. Of course. What made you come up with the witches theme? Was it you were inspired by anything particular, or was it something
Yeah,
you
probably. I was always really interested in witches, and so I grew up in England, and you know, like the old like Brothers Grimm fairy tales, and all characters of the fairy tale witch just really excited me and interested me. I loved it, so just seemed really natural to me to come up with this back in like 2015, and it's like a whole world of witches, good ones and bad ones, and all you've seen thus far are the bad ones, but it's kind of like opposing magics.
So you said that this was pretty much inspired by your desire to write, correct? And you just kind of brought your characters to life. How was that for you? Just kind of seeing your characters, you know, that in your mind and these book ideas, and then just seeing, you know, and making it. It's really awesome how you did it too. Like, you know, like drawing and then turning it into like actual physically there. Was that something that you always wanted to do, or was it just something that you felt like you needed to do to kind of you wanted to
sell the project? Yeah, I didn't really picture myself being this artistic, but kind of like I said, I just kind of stumbled more into being arty when really what I came to LA was to be a writer. So.
And when I read a part something about that you liked Pennywise. Is horror something that you like too? Is because you see the books and you kind of think, you know, like maybe you'd be more into like Disney stuff. And then I saw Pennywise, one of the sculptors of Pennywise when you went to San Diego Comic-Con.
I never sculpted Pennywise. You probably saw him on my feed because I was showing off a friend's Pennywise.
Not that you sculpted him, but that you liked him. That was like a character that you liked.
Oh, I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but I have a friend who has a company of figurines. His company's called Tweet Ahead. You should look it up. And Tweet Ahead puts out these cool figurines, and he did an awesome Pennywise. So maybe that's what you're.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that you really liked Pennywise. Were you like when growing up? What kind of shows and stuff did you like to watch?
My favorite thing growing up, which was a massive inspiration to me, was Jim Henson's The Storyteller. And it was huge in the UK, but there are not many Americans who know it because it was deemed too scary for American children. I don't think that many Americans saw it, but this was in the 80s.
Oh, wow. I have to definitely look that up. I really like the Grimm's fairy tale stuff, too.
Oh, then you would love this. It's Jim Henson, so it's awesome, and it's puppets, and it's just every episode's based on a Brothers Grimm story.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to get to a couple of questions that I saw here. First one, I got to scroll all the way up to get to it. Let's see. This question is from Joyce Picks. Do you think the ability to work with clay can be learned, or do some people have to innate skill? Have it?
Oh, innate skill? Oh,
yeah.
I think you can learn it. Absolutely. I think most of all what you have to have is an interest in doing it and a passion for it. And then you don't even have to have many classes. You just practice doing it. The more you do something, the better you get at it.
So you didn't have, prior to before you started, 2010, did you have any your background in sculpting?
No, I've never had any art instruction.
Oh, wow. That is so incredible. That is awesome. Let's see, here's another one. Oh, how did you get started with miniatures? That's from Joyce Picks as well.
Oh, right. I know who that is, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, she's got a lot. She's got another question over there, too.
Oh, I think I know who that is. How do I get started in miniatures? It's a funny story. Walking through the mall once with a friend, we saw miniatures in a shop window. And I remembered playing with miniatures when I was this old. And he said, oh, these are really good. And I said, they're kind of good. And he said, no, they're really good. And I said, I could make that. And he kind of made me feel at the time like I was being arrogant or something. And was like, so it became like a challenge. I was like, no, I really think I could. So I went home, bought some clay, made something. And I was like,
Oh my God.
That's how it started.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
And by the way, that first thing I made was rubbish, but still, that's why I did it, to try to prove a point. But I what I made was rubbish at that time.
And you use the baked clay, right? The epoxy.
Yeah,
clay.
polymer clay.
What was it? And is that what you used when you did the first initial one and was like, see, I could do it?
Yeah, exactly. But again, to clarify, in my arrogance, what I made was rubbish. But yeah, I did use polymer clay.
So, but just after that, you were just like, I can do this, and you just kept on doing it.
Yeah, I just kind of felt like doing it here and there. I don't know. It just became like a fun thing. I suddenly remembered how much fun that stuff was when I was 7 years old. So I just kind of like, I don't know, I was at UCLA at the time. So I was a student at UCLA. I just moved to this country, and I was doing screenwriting at UCLA, and it just became a bit of a side hobby that suddenly became something.
So you went to school for screenwriting, but you've always wanted to be a writer, a book writer.
Yeah.
Have you done anything prior? Is this going to be your first book that you've done?
Oh no, I've been writing for a while. I got a literary agent back in the UK, and back when I was 22, I was working on a show which I wrote, and I was working with the BBC. And it was one of those things where I worked on it for a while with an agent, and it was kind of going to happen and then didn't happen. Like, you know how things just poof. So I've had lots of things like that in my career.
But this is going to be for your first book that you're personally...
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm publishing it myself. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's what makes it so perfect, you know, that just, especially how much work you've put into just, you know, I mean, the sculptures are amazing, and this is all surrounded around your book, you know, and so you can tell that you've put a lot of thought into it. So I'm really excited to see what comes of it. Your artwork is just really distinct and really amazing, and the small little things that you do, like I saw the one with it was the BuzzFeed one, but it was like the long video that showed like you just making like little foods and stuff like that.
You just sat through that whole 20-minute thing. That's so boring.
Yeah, no, it was actually me and my lizard. My lizard was actually, when I showed you that was me right before I started. Yeah, me and him, he just like sat, he fell asleep, and I'm like just sitting here watching the thing and kind of going back.
It was so funny with that lizard.
No, I really like it. I really enjoy watching the little videos that you have on your Instagram. That's where I've been following you, your Instagram, and watching those videos. So it's really relaxing and kind of like, I don't know, it's like aesthetic kind of, because you have such a graceful way of just like kind of like doing it, you know, like with me, like I'm like doing, it takes me like 20 minutes to do one eye, and then you just got this, you just put it in, and it's just like magically just like.
It's because I'm on camera. If I'm on camera, I pretend I'm doing things delicately, and it's easy, and it's neat and tidy. If there weren't cameras on me, it would be chaos and me dropping.
That makes, I don't know how much I believe that, but it does make me feel better to hear. So I appreciate that very much. Joyce Hicks says, have you ever seen the work of Mario Buckingham, who does Benevolent Monsters?
No, but I'm already interested because it has monsters in the title. I'll look it up.
Any plans to release another mass-produced witch in the near future?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I should have had the prototype out for you. The next one's coming really soon. It's a really fun one. There's pictures of her on my Instagram. She's the one pushing the baby pram, baby carriage. That's what Americans call it, a baby carriage. In England, we call it a pram.
Oh, okay. Is that the one with the? Wasn't there one with cats in there?
Yeah, that's
the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So she's like the old cat lady.
Yeah. She's me in the future.
Oh no, I doubt that. I highly doubt that. You said that there's good witches and bad witches. Are you going to be coming out with do you have any? I don't know if I saw any of it.
You haven't seen any because I've been really quiet on that so far. But yeah, there's really good ones too. That's what makes it fun. If they were all bad witches and there was no conflict, it would be boring.
No, I like the basis of the story. It said something about how the witches are they're kind of like casted away from the mortals, so they kind of have nothing to do but be around each other, which I think is really, I like that whole like, so they're just like in this world where they don't have like mortals to mess with. So you got the good and the bad. So
they're messing with each other, and another reason I wanted to write it is, as a feminist, I wanted to have children's entertainment with a lot more varied female characters.
I'm totally into that.
Right. I thought you might be.
Yeah, that's really cool that you know, like, I'm really into the whole, not like female power thing, but I feel like there's a lot of you know, there's not a lot of recognition of what we're actually capable of how much that we actually do. I mean, now women are really obligated to kind of take a, you know, quote unquote male role without getting any credit for it. You know what I mean? And we really have to step up.
Absolutely. And especially when it comes to characters of witches, men always represented a witch as either a little kinky, sexy thing or an old hag. And that's how a lot of men see women. You know, they're either sexy objects or, you know, old hags. So, you know, I hate that. So doing all these different characters of witches, and they can be funny or smart or brilliant or stupid and everything in between. And that's, you know, because we see all these male characters in every other show and film, every type of male character you can imagine and their journeys.
I think that it's kind of underestimated as what we are capable of, and that we can, you know, I don't know, it's like, you know, if the female is attractive, then that's the only reason why they can do what they do, and there's no background, or, you know, the reason why, you know, a woman who's capable of, you know, getting a career is because they don't care about they're not worried about that aspect, you know. And I feel like that's really kind of putting us in a box that's so not even true.
Absolutely. And whenever they make a kick-ass woman, she has to be hot. Well, sometimes little girls want to look up to a tough, brilliant, or bright woman who isn't hot.
I feel like that what they did with Captain Marvel, and I've actually talked to a couple of people who said, you know, males who love the character say the same thing, you know, that they like the fact that she's not this, you know, like, she's not revealing, you know, she has a full-on suit, you know, just like a male would have, you know. I mean, it is tight on her, but it's not like Catwoman tight, you know. It's what you would expect for any superhero. So, you know, and she puts on that she's like powerful like Superman, you know. And I really like the fact that they did that. So it's, you know, it's showing that, you know, the society in general is kind of stepping up their mindset just a bit, you know, just a little bit. Okay, so this we have Lizzie Rose 21 wants to know where you get your inspiration from. Your style reminds you of some of his favorite animated films, Bok Trolls and Paranorman.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. I get my ideas pretty much from old fairy tales like Brothers Grimm and Hans Christian Andersen, and history. I'm crazy about history. So just old mythology like that, and that's really where my ideas come from.
I like the way, like, it kind of reminds me, you know, of, it doesn't remind me of a certain style, per se. I mean, it does kind of have
Which style?
Stuff, but
Which style?
It doesn't remind me of any style. I mean, I could see hints of like certain things, like, you know, like I could see kind of, I guess you could say Tim Burton, but I really wouldn't put that character, that category. Definitely see Grimm's fairy tales, which isn't something that is, it's what Grimm's fairy tales kind of sounds like it would be, but I've never actually seen any animation for Grimm's fairy tales. But it's like, it feels like it's got that, old school type of
animation. But there's the artwork of people like Rackham, like Arthur Rackham, and he does these wonderful watercolor illustrations of Brothers Grimm fairy tales, and that's really inspiring. If you see those visuals, you'll see where it gets my ideas from.
Oh, okay, awesome. I love Grimm. So if I could get that, you have to send me that so I can check it out.
Sure.
I like that. It's not my personal style, just because I'm not capable of making those type of things. My friend, Captain Dangerous, I told you about her, Kylie. She has this style in her photography, which is far beyond anything that I could do, but I love seeing it. I love the me not being able to do it and seeing somebody else do it. It's just like, it's cool. I like that. And
yeah, we'll check that out.
What is it, Nanny McPhee?
Oh yeah,
that like kind of reminds me of. It has that Nanny McPhee type of feel to it, which isn't an artwork. It's a movie, but I feel like it has that kind of like,
yeah, the visuals.
yeah, well, like the essence or something. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that does make sense.
Okay, and so we have Dog Tales Cartoon. This is, now that you have the experience behind you of producing Hortense, do you feel the next one will be much easier and streamlined?
What was the second part of the question?
And streamlined with having.
Oh, streamlined. Yes. So it will be so much quicker. Like, I'm anticipating getting her out in like a third of the time, and with fewer meltdowns.
So it has been a journey for you, for sure, then.
Yeah, like making this Hortense figurine, I thought, yeah, I'm going to quickly do that, then I'm going to get on with the next thing. And it ended up taking ages. It was just like, it just went on for so long, and it was just so hard to do. And then, like, the factory would, like, email me and be like, okay, so have you got your official logo? And have you got your packaging? Have you done this? Have you done that? And I'm like, and then realizing I had to do all this stuff myself, like creating this packaging, that was like really hard for me.
Well,
like,
so did you have to like use a certain software to like, because you can just
draw
them, or?
I just use Photoshop, but there were lots of parts of this that took me outside my comfort zone, things which I just thought were going to just happen, and the process was all going to come together, and then you suddenly realize, no, I have to do it all. So it's horrible.
And when you were sculpting it, I saw that you did a little sketch, and then did you do any kind of like measurement type of thing, or you just kind of did the sketch and did what you and then kind of brought it out in your head?
Oh, so I did the sketch to get the design sorted, and then I do most things in 1/12 scale, which means 1 inch represents 1 foot. So if one of my characters was 5 foot tall like me, they'd be 5 inches. So if you keep that in mind when you're working and have a ruler, you can keep the scale to a place that makes sense.
Oh, wow. Okay. That is awesome. And then, so when you do the initial one, you work with the epoxy clay. Do you bake each piece? Because I noticed that sometimes it'll be really hard. It looks hard in your hand. I don't know if it's like really delicate. And you're just like holding it really delicately, or
no,
what?
I'm baking it. I'm hardening it. Yeah.
Okay, so you harden it with you like put it on and then you harden it again.
Not a million times, because there are limits to how many times I think you can put clay in the oven before it starts to crack and become brittle. But yeah, I definitely layer hardened and unhardened clay.
Now, I saw that you were at San Diego Comic-Con. Was this the past one, the one from last year? Do you try to make appearances at those? Is that like one of the first?
Yeah, I mean, there are conventions that I actually prefer just because they're more suited to me. So I prefer to do, and you'll see me at Monsterpalooza, and you'll see me at DesignerCon in LA this November, and I'll be at Midsummer Scream this summer, and things like that. But I will also be at Comic-Con this year, probably.
Okay, at the San Diego one?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go. I only have one day, and I have really bad crowd anxiety. Like I can't be like in clubs or anything. Like unless I'm like completely wasted, I can't be there. Otherwise, I literally cannot breathe. So I'm really.
A lot of things that it's better to do wasted.
Yeah. I totally agree. So do you post like, when the cons or like any events that you're going to be at, and is there a certain place that is like Instagram? Is that like easier?
Yeah. Best place to follow me and find out where I'm going to be is Instagram, because I used to be all over my Facebook page, and then people stopped using Facebook, and my numbers kind of just stopped at like 15,000, never got any new followers. So I got bored of it and moved over to Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram seems to be a lot easier because, it's a lot shorter and whatnot.
Yeah.
You can just kind of post that. But the videos, of course, the longer videos is usually going to be on your YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. I just posted one yesterday, actually.
I think I watched that one. That was
it.
Yeah, because I saw in your story that you had that you were finishing it, and I was actually on your site today just to see if anything the details that I might have, because I have ADD, so I don't remember half of the things that I read. So I was like, I wanted to make sure that I got everything, because everything that I've seen of you is always been on Instagram, and I was on there. I was like, oh, that's the one that she was on her story.
Right.
Got the one that you just posted, right? It wasn't that
the werewolf.
Was that the Hortense one that you just posted?
No, the one I posted yesterday. I had to do a client commission of a werewolf.
Oh yeah, the werewolf.
Yeah,
one.
also known as a rougarou, which is like a Louisiana folklore thing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw. So do you do a lot of commissions too? Do you still do commission work? Or are you?
I do.
What kind of commission work have you done?
That's my bread and butter. So I do work for different companies and studios and private commissions for collectors as well.
Did you have any commission job that you kind of particularly really enjoyed doing?
Like, is there a specific job that I can talk about that I enjoy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good question. A question I need to think about. Something that I preferred above other. I don't know right now. I'm drawing a blank, but I can tell you that there is a company in England called McKinnon Saunders, and they're a really cool studio that does all this stop motion stuff. And it's all miniature sets and miniature characters, and they do really cool stuff. They're kind of like a competitor for Aardman, and they were really fun people to work with.
Lizzie Rose wants to know, do you come back to England a lot?
Yes, twice a year. I guess that's not a lot, is it? But twice a year.
I think it's more often than I leave the country, so.
Oh, right.
Or go anywhere. I think I travel maybe twice a year, and that's to New York, so.
I'm supposed to be there this weekend, but I had to bail because of work.
Oh no. Have you gone to New York very often?
Oh no, are we talking about England still?
No, we're talking about New York.
Oh, haven't been to New York yet. I really want to go.
Oh, their pizza's amazing. I'm obsessed with pizza, and their dollar pizza is better than any pizza you could get on the West Coast for sure. So do you like?
Yeah, I like pizza, but I don't like deep dish.
Oh no. New York style pizza is the thin crust. That's how the one fold in half. If you like pizza and you like thin crust, you are going to be in love with New York style pizza. So that's the first thing you got to do is get you a free New York style pizza. Anything. I like the one. I'm really basic. I just like cheese. I can't eat pork, but pepperoni's really good too. But yeah.
You don't eat pork?
No, I do Jewish laws, food laws,
okay.
so I don't. Yeah, so I don't eat pork and I don't eat shellfish and stuff like that. But I feel like it just takes away from the pizza, anyways. I can do
yeah. Actually, I don't even eat pepperoni pizza when I get pizza, so.
What kind of pizza do you get?
Huh?
What kind of pizza do you get?
Well, I kind of like all pizza, but the funny thing is, in Europe, the pizza is different. So they'll do things like they'll crack an egg on the pizza. And you don't really see that in America, and I think Americans think that's weird or disgusting.
I actually do that.
Huh?
I'll order a pizza the night before, and I'll save one piece for breakfast, and I put a fried egg on top and eat it that way.
That's insane. Yeah, actually, the best time to eat pizza is cold the next day for breakfast.
Yeah, definitely. I eat it where I heat it up in the oven, and then I cook my egg, and then I take it out, and I put the egg on top, and I fold it. And I eat it, and I let the yolk run and everything.
That's the way. That's the European way. That's so funny.
I'm European at heart.
That's so funny. Sorry, there are these little tiny flies that come into my apartment. Do you ever get that? These little teeny ones, and they get right in your face.
I never do, but literally today there's this one that's been here, and I'm like, why of all the places to be in my house, why are you right next to me?
I know. I never had this problem before. It's just this year, and they'll get right in my face. I'll be sculpting something, and it'll be really detailed, and I'll be focusing, and it'll be
There's a room of things to do here, and it just wants to be right there. Why? It's attracted to the danger, because if I get it, I will kill it. I don't think it.
Attracted to the danger. That's funny. Exactly. I think they're attracted to the our breath or something. Somebody told me that.
I don't know. I'll go with it. They like the danger. They want to be killed. They want me to kill it. That's why. So I don't feel so bad when I smush.
Well, they're certainly asking for it.
Now with your commissions, when you do them, are you usually limited to, because I know like I've done like I do commissions of Funko Pops because, you know, like people, they want to gift it to somebody. I just did one for these TikTok this TikTok couple that they wanted to gift to them, and so I made it, you know, they have this like cosplay character that they do. So I did a Funko of them for them, and, you know, not for them, but for the person to give to them because they're a fan, and for the person that, the fan. So I'll do, or like somebody will want it of their best friend. So I do stuff like that, but I feel like I've come to the point where it's like, it really restricts my creativity.
Absolutely.
Because it's so specific on what they do. Do you usually have more of a free reign? Because you do have a particular style. How do you...
I actually don't do commissions like that because I never take on commissions like that. So I tend to do things like if someone's doing a stop motion film or some project, or if they're trying to pitch a project and they need a character maquette, that's the type of commission I'll do. And either I'll work according strictly to their artwork that they've given me, or I'll have some involvement in the design process.
Okay, so you like write it, you like show them, like do like your little sketch, and then you would show it to them?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever find it, like, you don't have to name any like people or anything like that, but have you ever been to where it was hard to get you to get a final, you know, decision on what you were going to make? Have you ever had any issues like that with commissions?
Yeah, I've had occasionally. Sometimes you get slightly difficult clients, but it's usually just been good. Positive.
Because you do have a particular style. So for somebody to say, you know, to request you and know your style, and then want something that's not your style.
Usually people, they've come to me because they like my style and they want hey, can you create this character in your way? So, yeah, that kind of thing.
I feel like we definitely have to. Dogtails Cartoon says burn citronella candles, and it should get the flies and gnats away.
Oh, really? Yeah. Thank you for the advice.
As long as you don't mind smelling like oranges.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm orange anyway. It goes.
I absolutely love your hair color too.
I like yours. You got straight hair naturally, right?
I mean, like, I have like this Jewish fro thing going on. Like it gets like my hair's it doesn't know where it wants to be wavy. So I'll get like a wave mid hair, and then the end will be straight. And then in other parts, it's a little bit wavy on the bottom, like a slight wave. My hair's confused. It doesn't know if it's Asian or if it's Jewish. So it kind of just goes together.
No, my hair just does its own thing in every direction. But I think a good way to tame hair, which this could work for you, is it is called noodle head.
Noodle head.
Noodle head. It's a cream. You just scrunch in your hair when it's wet and then let it dry.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm going to try that because I hate having to blow dry my hair. Like half the time I don't.
Yeah, it's not good for you. I try not to blow dry my hair.
I have to, so I'm going to try that noodle head.
Okay.
It sounds promising. I don't even know how. Something Natalie says she loves you and your dolls. Lizzie says it must be difficult in general too, because as an artist you have a specific vision and end product, but the person commissioning you will have their specific vision too.
Yeah, like I said, I've been lucky because mostly the people I've worked with have been really nice. Actually, no, not mostly, everyone's been great. The only thing that's gone wrong at times is sometimes someone says, it's usually a company, not a person, and the company will say, we want you to do this, why don't you do some sketches, and I'll like spend a lot of my time doing drawings for them. Is this what you want? Is that what you want? Back and forth. And then the commission just disappears before it starts. And it's like, oh, it's wasted time and I didn't get paid. So that's happened.
Yeah, I've had to, a lot of times I went through that, and I would always request a 50% down payment on it, because I can't, I have to buy the stuff, and I have to,
Yeah.
like, once I get started on it, and at least then, like, I'll finish it, and then I won't get, and then all of a sudden they disappear. So it's like, these things take
That's
a
the
lot
way
of
to
work.
go.
Yeah.
It can be tricky though, because like sometimes, like for this one company, they were like, they wanted me to sell them on whether or not I could make it work for them by doing artwork. So when I did that artwork, yeah, so I kind of had to invest some time, and then it disappeared. But these things happen. It doesn't happen that often.
Now with your book, the book that you're coming out with, I see, because you have the background for a scene. Is it going to be the illustrations for the book? Are they going to be figurine type?
Great question. I get asked that a lot. It's actually going to be illustrations, like watercolor illustrations.
Okay, and are you going to be doing those illustrations?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's so awesome. And do you have any like background with drawing? You just kind of, it's just like a magical.
Same answer as with clay. It's like, this is newer to me, but I think I can make it work.
Yeah, no, that is so awesome. Because like I've always been kind of interested in art when I was younger, and then like I remember when I was younger, I always said I wanted to be an artist when I grew up, and then as I got older, like I never really pursued it, and then all of a sudden, like the past like 2 years, a year ago, I did my first Funkopop, kind of like how you said, like I saw somebody make theirs, like saw that they were doing a contest, and I'm like, I could totally do that.
Right.
And I did it, and I made Falcor from Never Ending Story.
You did what? So
Falcor from Never Ending Story.
Oh my goodness, I love that. Sorry, and there's an ambulance going by.
Yeah, I heard that. I did that.
Oh, I love the Never Ending Story. Did you grow up on that film?
Yes, I mean the first and second one were great, and then they just kind of went downhill after that.
Oh no, you can only watch the first one.
I love that.
Do you remember Atreyu?
Yes, I actually have Atreyu on the back of Falcor, and I won first place. I got a $500 gift card.
Well done. That's great.
Yeah. So ever since then, I've just kind of been doing it, but like, but I've never had any art like background before that. But it was like, there's certain things that I would want. Like I started collecting. My daughter's getting older, so I had more free time and more money, and so I was like, I wanted to start collecting stuff, and some stuff that I wanted I didn't see, and I'm like, this is what I want, so I started making it, and then I just started selling it. But like from what I start, like where I'm at, like where you are, you're like, it's crazy. Like I mean, like mine might look okay, they're passable, they look good, but yeah, it's just incredible, like from going, just knowing you could do it, and then, being where you are now, it's really, you definitely are an inspiration for me, for sure.
That's really sweet of you. Thank you. Ditto.
And the drawing part, I can't draw for nothing. Like that's one thing. Like I do my toy photography because I can't draw. So I make the figures look like what I would like to see on paper that I can't make.
Again, it's practice though. You could draw if you tried and then worked at it.
I'm going to try just because you said that. I know it's possible. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I feel like, because like I do like weird, anything that I draw, it looks like a sketch, and then you drew like 3 different sketches and put them of the same thing and put it on top of it. It's just like a bunch of squiggly lines. It's absolutely.
That's how everyone starts. You start with the rough form, and then you hone in on it with stronger lines when you feel confident.
Okay, so it's a part of the process then.
I think so.
I'm just gonna go with that.
And you need to look at more people's artwork like that and just get a feel for how they do it, and pick your favorite artist and look at what they're doing and then be inspired. That's what I do. Like my favorite watercolor artist is PJ Lynch. He's on Instagram.
Okay. PJ Lynch. I was always afraid to do that because like I don't, like I said, like I have ADD, so like sometimes I'll see something in my head and like I don't want to copy. So I feel like I'm so afraid that I might subconscious, like copy someone else's work just
I've
because
had that exact problem. Like, I'm too scared to look, and then so I'll have that exact problem. If I know I'm going to create like a Russian witch, I won't look at any characters even remotely in that world, and I'll create my own one. Then I'll look and go, oh, bugger, it looks like this, and then I can tweak mine.
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So like once I figure out like what my already, like this is what it's gonna look like, and then kind of get like a ideas of how to do that. That sounds like way better, because I'm so afraid of, like, even like I do a lot of toy reviews, and I don't watch a lot of other people's toy reviews because I'm afraid of copying the way they do things, and I never want to do that, you know.
I know exactly what you mean, and there's always some voice in the background who pops up and goes, that looks just like,
my friend Kylie is on here right now. Say hi. Kylie, hi. I told she was gonna come on. You have to look at her toy photography, just because it reminds me a little her, like, you know, like with your work, it has this like magical feel to it, and then when you say your story and how much work you've put into it, and like it just all makes sense as to how, like, you can see it in your art. And she's the same way, like her photography, a lot of people, they do the same things that she does, and I could always tell a difference, because even though they're copying it, it's still not the same. It doesn't have that touch that only she can do. I feel like the same thing with your work. Like I could see your work and I'm like, that's definitely, I feel like Tim Burton, like if I saw Tim Burton stuff, like, and without knowing it was his, I would know that it was his.
Right.
And I feel like with your work, like I see it and I'm like, oh, okay, I know who did that. You know,
well, that's
like,
a big compliment. Thanks.
It's very distinct, and that's how I'm so excited to see the book coming out.
Thank you.
Now, so you have, how many figures do you have on sale right now that are out?
The mass manufactured ones like this?
Yeah.
One, because I've only just started this. I started doing it last year, but the next one will be available this year, and probably 2 more this year, and then I'll ramp up more.
Okay, so it's going to be the ones that you've sculpted yourself, and those ones are soon to be available. And this is the first of the, how many are there? There's about
many. There'll be a lot.
And these are all the bad witches, right? And then you're gonna go.
There'll be good witches as well. Yeah.
Okay, but those ones I haven't seen. You haven't posted anything about those yet, right?
Yeah,
when do those start?
About that.
Well, I can't wait to see. They're going to be completely. Are they going to be completely different from the Bad Witch line?
Really. So the Bad Witches have lots of dark.
Okay, hold on. We can't hear you. I think there's a. Okay. Yeah.
And the Good Witches are all in pastels and light colors, and also stripes and polka dots, but they have their own thing. It'll be fun.
Okay. I totally missed the part that you were describing the Bad Witches, the look that you have for them. You know, like, right? Because I think maybe the hand was on. So he had their hand under the speaker or something.
Oh.
Because you're the Bad Witches. They have like certain.
Yeah. So they kind of have their own cohesive look. They're all in dark colors and blacks, and there's lots of trademark things. You'll see, like all of my witches wear gloves. Lots of them have fingerless gloves, and lots of stripes and darks and polka dots, and they all have dark shadow all around their eyes, and they all have crazy hairstyles. So the Good Witches kind of have their own thing going on, and they also have their own pets. But yeah, everything's got a very different slant.
Okay. Do you have like a number of witches that you already, like, you know, because did you
30.
think 30 witches in all?
Well, no, there's going to be loads more than that, but I've got 30 designs.
Okay, so far.
Yeah.
And this is the bad and the good witches?
No, 30 bad ones.
Oh, just 30 bad ones. And then how many good ones? Did you start like thinking those up? Do you have those ready?
Yeah, loads. You'll see more of it this year.
When are you going to start releasing showing sculptures of
the Good Witches? This year.
Yeah. Before or after the book comes out?
Oh, I don't know. Good question. Probably before, maybe.
I'm really excited to see how the Good Witches turn out.
Thanks.
Now, now, what is the background for? What did you make that for? Did you have for a specific use?
Which thing?
The background, the house thing that you have behind you.
Okay, so yeah, I was building. So I do miniature sets as well. For I do miniature sets and figurines, and those particular unfinished sets were part of some photography for some of these Bad Witch figurines. And they're not even really being used for anything at the moment, but I keep them around because when I go to conventions, they draw attention to my table. So.
Oh, okay. And so, so if you do go to the San Diego Comic-Con, you are going to be posting that, right?
Posting what?
That when you go to the San Diego Comic-Con, if you do?
If I go to that, which I don't know, I'm not entirely sure I am, but if I go, my friend who I mentioned, the company Tweet Ahead, he has a booth which I might share some space with if I go.
Oh, okay. Okay. I hope so. I'm going to try to, I'm hoping that I make it out there.
Oh, yeah? It's not a convention that's perfect for me because it's usually known IP. So I have a lot more luck at other conventions.
Oh, okay. Like the Designer Con and the Monster Con, right?
Cruiser and things like that, yeah.
And if people want to purchase this, the Hortense,
yeah.
Where can they do that?
They can get it online today. I still have them. Or they are going to be, you can always get them from me in person at a convention. You can buy them from my website. And they're also going to be, some of them are going to be distributed by Sideshow. And some are going into a really cool store in Burbank.
Okay. Awesome. And your next, so after this one, are you, when you said the next one's going to be coming out?
Like when?
Yeah.
Couple of months, few months, you'll start to hear me. I'm going to post about it.
Okay, perfect. To try and think of any questions that I have now that I have you on here. I know that you have a lot of information on your YouTube. I read something that you have like how to do certain things on your somewhere, but I didn't have time to look for it. But I know that you had you had like a kind of like behind the scene type thing or something.
Yeah, so I have some behind the scenes videos, but I don't really have tutorials specifically. And I think that's what ticks people off because most people see my work and they want a really clear, exactly how do I do it tutorial from me. And I just have not put that out yet, but I know people want it. I get asked for it all the time. So I will eventually sit down and make a really step-by-step tutorial to how to make a character. Okay.
That's going to be awesome. You're like the perfect person to like even like learn that from. So I'll be looking out there for that too. So you're the miniatures that you've done too. Like when you did the thing for BuzzFeed, what was that? Was that something that you were doing, just doing for that like specifically, or was that?
That was a funny thing actually. So I got contacted by Instagram because Instagram had just hit 500 million. I think it was 500 million unique users worldwide in the summer of 2016. So they wanted to celebrate that by putting out some buzz about it. So they teamed up with BuzzFeed and they put this article about how they hit 500 million unique users. And they, at Instagram headquarters, picked their 3 favorite Instagram people. And bizarrely, even though I had not many followers, I was one of them. Really bizarre. So they, to mark the occasion, I went over to BuzzFeed Studios and did a live demo and filmed some videos and did some fun stuff, and then they put out some articles about it.
So what did you do with those miniatures that you made that day?
Well, it was more about the demo. So after I finished doing it, they weren't needed for anything. So they are probably in a box somewhere in this room.
Oh, really? Those are really cool. Like the forks and the spoons, were those, because I know that had like
the only thing I didn't make.
Huh?
The only part I didn't make.
That's those ones you didn't make the spoons? Because I felt like you did like paint the handle on.
Oh
no.
yeah, I mean I painted them, but so when I do miniatures, I make like hyper realistic little miniatures, and sometimes someone will look at my work and go, "Wow, that's really cool," and the best part's the fork. And it's like, yeah, that's the one thing I didn't make.
No, I thought so. I was like, there had to be like a base. I think that's a
I'm
lot
really
easier.
joking.
No, when you do the do you ever like color, like you use colored clay, right?
Yeah.
Do you use, so it's like but do you ever, and then you paint on top of it, right?
Yeah, you don't want to put paint on colored clay too much if you're doing miniature food, because when you're creating miniature food, the idea is you want to make it hyper realistic, and food has such a large content of water. So when you use polymer clay and you blend it with lots of translucent, it means you can, once it's cured in the oven, you can get that real translucency to the miniature food. If you layer paint on that, then you've totally ruined that look.
Oh, okay. I saw that you using like
pigment.
a powder or something for
exactly, colored pigments, not paint.
Okay, so does that like wipe off or anything? Because it looked really
it gets
powdery.
baked. It gets sealed into it when it's cured.
Oh, okay. And do you use that a lot when you do your paper?
Yeah, I use that a lot. If I'm doing miniature food, you have to use that. Yeah.
Okay. Like it's so crazy because it's like you did this one, like the limes and stuff, and it had like different. It was already like you would cut into it, but it already had the inside already.
Oh yeah, the lime. Yeah, that's a really interesting technique. It's called the Skinner technique, named after the person who came up with it. And it's kind of a fun thing. What you do is you make a cross section of a lime, and you make it like this big. Then you squeeze it and pull it until it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller and thinner. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it becomes what we call a cane. And then when you slice through it with a razor blade, you've got this tiny, tiny, like slice of lime. So that kind of caning technique is used for lots of things like that.
Do you have a preference of paint that you like to use?
A preference of paint?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I use, like I said, I don't use paint on miniature food, but I use it on my characters like this, and yeah, acrylics.
Acrylic paints?
Yeah.
Do you have like a brand that you prefer? Well, I don't know if I'm allowed.
Winsor Newton.
Okay, I follow them on my other account.
Me too. Yeah, I really
like
this guy.
They have really. Do they do the pigment stuff too? Is that like something
no,
that they?
No, the pigment is chalk. It's chalk pastels. So, and I don't even know what brand I use. I can't remember. I think it's a German brand.
But it's specific for clay work, or is it just
no,
a general?
Just if you were going to buy a box of colored chalks for a kid to draw on the sidewalk, that's all you need. And you just take those colored chalks, take a razor blade, and scrape at it to get the powder.
Oh wow! And it just bakes right into the actual artwork.
Brush it on to uncured clay. Yeah.
Okay. What did he say? Oh, colored pigment like makeup. Okay, so Cement Swimming Shoes was asking kind of the same question. It's not makeup. It's chalk.
Oh, it's not makeup. No, because makeup has oil in it. No, it's chalk. Because and then you brush it onto the paintbrush onto your raw clay. You either brush it on dry if you want a subtle effect, or if you want it to be stronger, then you can use. I was going to try and hold out a product, but I don't have it in front of me. But basically, Sculptor liquid clay softener. You put that on your uncured clay to make it wet, the surface wet, and then you put pigment on, you'll make a stronger, more pigment.
Okay. What was the other question I was going to ask you? There's, your, not paint, I guess, no, I asked that. The polymer clay, is there different brands that there's just one certain brand, or is there a brand that you always like to
There's lots of brands. There's Fimo, Sculptor, Primo, and then there's other companies launching their own brands, and I think, I don't know if Martha's doing one now or not, I'm not sure actually. But I use Sculptor.
The Sculptor brand?
Mostly Sculptor, yeah.
Because you probably have to buy big portions of each one, right? The different colors, or?
Yeah, I buy a lot of it.
And you always have you usually start with the nude on your, like, the faces and stuff like that. Do you ever find that you have to, like, paint, like, change the color pigmentation on those ones? Or do you always, like, kind of choose, like, I like, you know, like the clothes, you know, if you're going to do, like, with her, you start with a dark color, or do you usually just go with one color and paint it all on?
Oh, I like to use colored clay because it's just a quicker way to get the result you want. So if you've made a figurine and you know you want it to be wearing a long red cloak, use red clay. I mean, it's just so much easier than using the blank clay and then trying to get in and paint it.
Mm-hmm. And when you do it, do you have, like you say, you don't bake it a bunch of different times. You usually limit yourself to how many times how many layers you would put on before you bake it?
I really try to limit how many times it goes in the oven and comes back out, because every time you're doing it, you're damaging it, you're lessening the color. So like I said, if I'd done a character in a long red cloak and then I decided I wanted to add a whole load of stuff and keep putting her in the oven, that would make me nervous, because the color of the cloak is going to start to change and not be what I wanted, and it becomes more brittle, it's more likely to crack and go wrong. So bake at different stages. It's a really good thing to do, but try not to do it too often. I try to limit it to 3 times.
And when you do it, like, I know a lot of people, they will, you know, like I don't use the bake one because all I have is my cooking oven.
You can use your cooking oven. It's not toxic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So does it change? Do you think it changes the outcome of your figure if you do it that way?
Well, so I have a dedicated craft oven, but if something's really big, I might have to put it in the main oven. I mean, if your main oven has just been used to cook lots of pizza and is really fatty, that's probably not the best idea. But in general, you can use your main oven. It's not toxic, but I tend to air my oven out before putting food in again.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, if anybody else has any questions, go ahead and do that now. I think I'm going to wrap it up because I feel like we're at the hour already. Sometimes Instagram, like it switches off. It tells me that I have 2 minutes, and another time it let me go on for like 2 hours. And I have a tendency to talk a lot, and it has done that. And as much as I love doing it, because I love, you know, like like right now, like you're definitely somebody I've been following for a while. So like I do want to post it on YouTube and stuff like that. And I know that, you know, it being too long, it might be an issue.
Also, since we've been talking, I don't know if you can tell, but since we've been talking, the sun has moved around and I'm now starting to bake.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't want you to get a sunburn over there. So everybody know, you know, you have the horror tents available right now on your website. You said that Sideshow will be distributing it as well.
Yeah, but buy them from me.
Yeah. I would actually prefer to see you at a con and buy it from you at the con.
I love it when people do that.
Yeah, I that's like my preference. But I mean, if anybody does want to get it,
and this is how they come. So here.
And this is the first of the series, right?
Yeah, first one.
Now, when you're done with the book and everything, do you already have plans on what, you know, you're doing a bunch of different books, so aren't you?
Yeah. And in answer to your question, when you finish this project, do you have more plans? Yes. I've kind of got plans for the next 20 years. So.
Oh, that's awesome. With the books, are they like short story type, or they're kind of like storybook type?
Yeah, and because they're illustrated, so they're children's books, really.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. And you said hopefully this year, right?
I think so, yeah. I think I can get out this year.
Okay, cool. And do you know what book is going to be coming out first?
Hortense. Because
Hortense?
It just made sense to do her first because everyone's interested in her right now because of that figurine. So I would like to start with her.
And are you going to be like kind of like are you going to say like little like kind of like little tiny backgrounds on them as you bring them out, or are you going to wait till the book comes out? And
yeah, I'm giving people a tiny bit of info, like on this box, for example, it says on the back, oops, it kind of says like her backstory a bit there, but to learn everything you need to know about her, you have to buy the book.
Okay.
Wow,
Awesome.
the sun is really moving. Can you see it's on me now?
Yeah, I can. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it so much. It was amazing meeting you.
Yeah, it's been loads of fun.
Hopefully I see you at San Diego Comic-Con. I will be running there.
Let me know. Drop me a text.
I will for sure. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you everybody that tuned in. I will have this posted on YouTube hopefully by the end of this week. So if you guys missed it or want to see it again, it will be on there. So bye. Thank you.